Buongiorno. Excuse me for this evil mastermind kind of dark setting, but that's the best I could do, so whatever. Let's get into the topic right away, because this is a topic that I do care about, because the main audience of this channel is obviously international, because I wanted it to be international to show to share the passion of AC Milan with you and live with you through beautiful seasons in which AC Milan will win the Scudetto and the Champions League. We're ninth, but I do want to know how you live the rivalries with your enemies team. Obviously, I talk about Italy, but it could be anything. It could be like Real and Barcelona. Those kind of football rivalries. I'm going to pronounce the R strong because I can't say rivalries decently in English and smoothly. Okay, so to me, rivalries have to be healthy, and by healthy, I mean that the teams should be roughly at the same level, with AC Milan being better. Because I am a Milanista. So that's how it is. Because if a team is way too superior compared to their rivals, they will start pitying them, and I do not want pity. Okay, I want to be feared, because in football, when you're feared, you're also respected, and it means you are a threat for the other opponent, and that is what makes you strong. If one team is way weaker than the other, then it becomes less meaningful. So, like, that's why Inter and Juve and Milan always had a very strong rivalries in Italy. Then you also have Roma and Lazio, Juventus and Torino. But I guess that the famous one, let's say the triad of rivalries in Italy, are Inter, Juve, Milan. Now, Inter and Juve, they hate each other. They hate each other for a lot of reasons. Mainly, obviously, they have to do with football on the pitch, and Juventus calciopoli, and all all the story that happened with Juventus stealing here and there is a very dark side of Italian football, and I am ashamed of it. But that's what happened, and it became, I think, kind of a generational thing where the parents kind of that they hate Juventus will tell everything about it to the kid, and they will teach them that Juventus steals, and then you keep going like that. So now Juventus is not getting hate, I guess, in Italy. I mean, is being hated. I think it's the most hated team in Italy, but now, since they're less predominant in Italy, they have not been winning much, they are less feared. The moment where Juventus will start to be competitive again in Serie A, that will be the moment in which you will see a lot of supporters going against Juventus. In the same way, I think, is AC Milan. Now, AC Milan has been pathetic these years, so nobody fears AC Milan. Maybe only the Interisti, because they could not defeat us whatsoever, and they are in the finals of the Champions League against the PSG and Donnarumma. Do you remember Donnarumma? Anyway, off topic. So in Italy, you grow up with football everywhere. When you watch like the sports news on TV, you will have 90% dedicated to football, and the rest maybe tennis, maybe basketball, maybe a little bit, but not much. And when you go into a cafe or a bar in Italy, you will find the iconic pink newspaper. Okay, that newspaper is La Gazzetta dello Sport, which is one of the main sources of football news in Italy. But then that is 90% of that newspaper is football, And when you go to eat your breakfast with your cappuccino and with your brioche cornetto, you will find that newspaper. So when I grew up, um, my friends, they all follow football. I had many uh, Inter supporters and Juventus supporters. So we mocked each other pretty much. Yeah, we did mock each other a lot when Juventus win or when Inter win the derbies, all that kind of stuff. And that is how I grew up. And to me, it's part of the fun of watching football. Yeah, making fun of my rivals, being them, I don't know, Juventus or Inter or whoever. I do feel the rivalry more with Inter. Maybe it's because we have almost the same amount of Scudetti, and I care to keep them far apart regarding the numbers of Champions League. But in the end, I am a supporter. I am more a supporter of AC Milan than I am a hater of Inter. Okay, I make fun of Inter, but then that's it. Also, I think it's part of the entertainment of this channel, at least for me, since when I was a kid, I was doing that. So it's part of the fun too. You make fun, but you also congratulate them when they win. It's part of the game. It's part of the game. If they lose, it's better. If they win, uh, I'll go back to my AC Milan. The problem is that AC Milan is not giving me many satisfactions this year. When I think about AC Milan, it's very sad and I die a little bit inside. But we have Coppa Italia final to play, so that could be another trophy for us, and that is good. That is good. That is good. Also, I do remember when Inter won the treble because I was in Italy, and I was so they were showing the match in a huge garden in Italy. They set up like a screen, and I'm sure they will do the same thing this year. Every time there's an Italian in the finals, they do that. And I was with one of my friends, and he was Interista. So we went to that garden to see the match. To me, hoping that Inter would lose, and Interisti, a lot of Inter supporters were there, a lot of Juventus supporters were there, hoping for Inter to lose. In the end, they won and they celebrated all night long. So, and then I went home because there's nothing for me to celebrate. I watched the match and then I go home. And the roads were a mess, a lot of people around having fun. So that's what it is. And that is has been, and still now Interisti, they throw to my face the treble. You know, when you start mocking each other, they will say, Inter's the only team that has been able to reach that. Yeah, sure, but we have 7 Champions League and blah blah blah. That kind of stuff. That kind of stuff. It's a part of the fun for me. I know that a lot of you will support Inter, but not a lot. But some of you will support Inter in the finals. I can't do that. I will watch the match, hoping for Inter to lose, and then I will go on with my day, whether Inter wins or loses. But since I opened this channel, I will make a video about it. If they win, I will congratulate them. If they lose, I will maybe mock a little bit, but not too much because it's painful. And I don't want to make things worse, but we will see. We will see what happens. It's gonna be an interesting match for sure because it's gonna be Inter versus PSG, and I think they both have equal chances to win the Champions League. One match. I can't imagine who could. Everybody could win this match, in my opinion. So we will see Donnarumma versus Inter, and hopefully it's gonna be an interesting match to watch from a football perspective, at least, and we will see how that goes. Anyway, let me know how you live this kind of rivalries. If you care, if you don't care at all, like if you don't feel them, if you're, apathetic towards them, just let me know. The king. Emerson will win 2 trophies. Emerson, Coppa Italia, Super